This is True Buzz, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buds.
Welcome to the True Buds show. It's your host, it's your friend, it's your buddy, Jack Woltering, where I interview people in the cannabis space, from business owners, entrepreneurs, artists, and we have a special one today, now that I say that. Mohan Sundaresan is the man. You can follow him at mohanlahoya.com or on IG at mohanlahoya. This podcast today gets deep. It's honestly probably the most deep podcast I've had to date, and I really don't say much. You know I consider myself a listener, so today I'm going to listen to a man that creates masterpieces. And he wouldn't say that. His humility is amazing. His essence is very, I want to say, pure and real. And today we're just going to dive deep and dive in.
This is the first time I'm doing this, you know. Otherwise, I'm usually on the phone, or they come here and visit me, and then we talk, and then they write something about what we are meeting, and that's about it, you know. It's nice to be able to connect, not just connect for the sake of knowing more people or anything, but connect. You know, when you connect with somebody, you connect with the earth.
That's the truth, huh?
No, you connect with the earth because we are all connected, but we are all connected in any case, but we get more aware of it, you know?
You're bringing it deep here, right from the jump here, Mohan.
Oh, no, it's not deep. It's common sense. You know, it's basic common sense. You know, we've gone so far away from the natural being, what we are supposed to be, that now just common sense is also, they say, wow, that's wisdom. That's not wisdom. Wisdom is living according to it. That's wisdom.
And that's why I love you, man. And some of the, of course, your artwork is fantastic. Everything you do is just amazing. But I also like the deeper underlying, humility you have in all your work you do, man. I've been kind of keeping up with you and watching what you do and listening to you, man. And you're just a humble dude who's very talented, although you might not say that, but I truly believe you are.
You know, talent is, if you're able to express yourself from your heart out, then you allow some other forces to take part. And that, if it's known as talent, we all have it. We all have a heart, but if we do something which really, you know, you can't be honest to yourself only in a critical situation in your mind. You know, you can be serious, but to be very honest, you have to forget about everything else. You just have to connect with you and with everything, nothing in particular. Because if we connect with anything in particular, it becomes a group and a fashion, but there are certain roads that we all have to walk alone. You know,
Yeah.
there's a beautiful line written by Chris Christopherson. He's, for me, one of the heaviest. He's one of the disciples, I would say, present day. Not from the olden times, you know. He talks about how life is today. I mean, he's also about 75, 80 years old or what. But there are doers and don'ters, I wills and wonters, and them that don't even try. There are givers and takers, movers and shakers, and some folks just passing by. Skid roads and winos, some folks I know don't do like I think they should. I thought they lived their lives all wrong, long before I understood. We all have to walk our own road, can't always go where you're told. In the end, where we'll end up, who knows? But we all have to walk our own road. It's when you're honest to yourself, then you're honest to everything. I can't be honest just to you and dishonest to somebody else. That's living a double, that's hypocrisy. And we are all hypocrites, believe you me, to be very honest. Like what
Well,
Chris Christopherson also puts it in a word, partly truth and partly fiction. But that bit, that journey we have to do on our own. And when you realize that your ego goes out, because if your ego stands in front of you, then your doings are for some other purpose and not for not for what you were meant for. Like what Picasso said, the reason in life is to find your gift, and we are all gifted in some form or the other. But we all want to end up being either Elvis Presley or Kim Kardashian or something like that, you know. We don't come out with our own beauty, and that's the beauty I'm longing to see. And I get it only from nature. And we've gone so far away from nature that common sense is kind of wisdom. It's when you're true to yourself, you don't care then. Then you have faith in what you're doing. Then you have faith in what you're doing. And at times there are many who are doing a lot in faith, but they have to go through a certain procedure of rethinking. You know, give themselves an alternate way of thinking, because when you have faith in what you're doing, that is this universal energy that backs you. Now, for example, me sitting down and talking to you, I don't know how many people are going to hear what we're talking about, but that's an outlet. Now, the reason why I say that energies back you, they support you, is when you've left your ego out of the window, thrown it out. And my devotion is hungry babies all over the world. It doesn't matter where. And because every country, babies dying where mothers are not capable of nurturing them. So I get up in the morning, I go into my garage and I do my work just with them in my mind. And I don't pray. I'm not religious. I just, the unknown, I'm occupied with the unknown the whole time. People think I'm spaced. Okay, good. That's also a part of it.
so when like find this way of thinking, is this kind of how you always were? And like
Since I was a child in India, you know, India is one of the most radical countries, racist countries, if you can say, for their own people. They have these caste systems, the untouchables, you know, but they're also you and me. And see now this epidemic which has come up. I've always said we are all thinking in the box. We are fighting for the deprived. We are fighting for the underprivileged. But nobody gives the forgotten a thought. They are forgotten, those dying of hunger. Nobody thinks of them. And I said this, I don't know, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years ago. And just last year also, I was saying, when they live under those circumstances, and any disease that they get, it's not their problem. It'll come to our door. And it doesn't matter how big the ocean or whatever it is, our world is so small. Bingo, we all get involved into it. Like this coronavirus. Because we also are donating towards it. Because our ego, our want, and the biggest epidemic, I think, is greed. Global.
that's real, man.
That's
How
the
would
epidemic, and
How,
all these are just nothing else but outcomes of it.
and it's like that from basically the beginning of time, huh? There's always that greed there.
No, that was when man is supposed to have been so-called civilized. We've become more civilized, but we treat another human worse than animals. Now, how civilized have we become? How civilized have we become? It's a and it's got nothing to do with religion. It's got nothing to do with politics. It's with each individual. They they support a system which is you're shooting yourself in the foot, and you cannot go far. It we cannot. We are just fooling ourselves.
Huh.
Now, why I do this? Can I just show you my latest piece,
Yeah. Oh,
which I
please
just
do.
finished?
Please do. Yeah, you're
I
quite the
wonder if
talented
you,
man.
I wonder if you can see this on there.
Oh yeah, that's coming through crystal clear right now. That's looking good.
Yeah, and now with this coronavirus situation, I tried to go to the art stores and get some materials, but they said closed until further notice, or they're not sure when they're going to open. And I ended up just having three colors of paint: yellow, red, and blue. And all these paintings now that I'm doing are just with these three colors. And the thing, what I want him to say is, we are all gifted, we are all talented, but what is missing is imagination. That is the main thing with imagination. When people look at my work, my other woven stuff, have you seen any of those?
Oh yeah, of course. Yes.
And I have some big pieces, 9 feet tall, 6 feet wide, and all kinds of things. That happened to me by mistake. And I used to drink a lot. And when that took place, when I had finished my first woven piece, I was shocked. I was shocked. Because I tried to go to galleries and show them my pieces because I was trying to be an artist to show how things would look in others' eyes. But I realized, that doesn't. And I was giving all my heart and soul. I was very devoted to my work. But I was doing it how other people are going to look at it until I said, hell with the whole lot. I came back, I came back home, cut two of my most favorite pieces into strips, turned them upside down, ready to throw away in the garbage. And then I said, I'm going to throw them away. In any case, let's try and weave them together. And when I wove them upside down and flipped it over, these two paintings, how they blended in with each other was a miracle. And that, no, I don't have any knowledge of maths and science and all that to be able to come up with this intricacy of work. It was just a craft, and it's going to stay a craft. I don't call it an artwork because calling it an artwork is trying to put airs on you. It's a creation of yours. Nobody creates anything. We are just putting things together. Everything has been created.
So
Even
you're sorry to interrupt you there. So you're a believer in like the journey of life too, that if none of this ever happened to you before with leading up to those years and those two pieces that came together is all part of the
that,
journey or
it's all a part of the journey. But you see, the main thing is I'm a restless guy to start off with. I've got a very troubled soul. I'm a very peaceful, calm guy. I'm not aggressive or violent or anything like that. But there are lots of things that disturb me. And I take my dog for a walk. And in the evening, he's a dachshund. I take him for a walk and I just look at all these nature in its pureness. And that is love. You know, there is a universal energy flowing through each one of us. If we realize this energy and use it for its purpose, nobody to tell you, you figure that out. Let your conscience play on you. For its purpose, believe you me, you'll be coming out with that beauty which is within.
So
Everyone is coming out with that beauty, but nobody wants, everyone wants the best with least effort and right now. That's the greed. And nobody has time. They're always patching, 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 patching. They're not honest with themselves. And the whole system in the media and all that also encourages them to be lazy. In other words, dictating you what you need. If you don't have that, you're not living. Do you follow me?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And
If you're not
but
fulfilled, you're
but you're always taken away from your ideal path, and that's where the honesty has to come. And you say, "I draw my line and period." But everyone is scared now. For example, this coronavirus situation, now quarantine time, they don't know what to do. They're all bored. But if they had a craft, if they were involved in some craft, just tinkering around something or the other, that is wealth. That is the wealth. The other stuff that you're going digging ditches to earn money and all that, that's only riches. But wealth is, then everything belongs to you.
I didn't thought about it quite that way, man, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Like that.
when everything belongs to you, you don't need to have it in your pocket or in your fist or hand or anything. It's yours. And there are so many beautiful young kids. When I was young, they were also young. 17-year-old coming up with thoughts of. Can I relate one which is, that's my signature piece. It's known as Crossroads. And I say it's a signature piece because every step we take in life, we are at a crossroad. It's not that we have to stop, stand, and see whether I'm going right, left, or straight ahead, or whatever the case is. But if you're aware of your surroundings, you can come to quicker conclusions with every step. Do you follow me?
Yes.
Because you're aware of your surroundings. But if you're not sure, you have to go step, wait a minute, where am I? Am I in the right place? Or am I heading in the right direction? Or whatever the case may be. But
Do you ever
here,
feel
this
that way
goes
when
like,
you're doing a piece of work that do you just let it, is it all free form, or you have it like a little direction you're going with it, or it just kind of
no, mine, as I said, for that extra energy to just flow through you, you have to be empty and receive it. If you have anything and if your spirit is occupied, sorry, brother, that you won't get that energy. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm lazy, I'm fidgety, but I like doing things, whether it's and for no reason at all. What I'm doing, I say that out, that it makes no sense, but I'm enjoying it. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm enjoying it. And I do it and show people every step and procedure that what is within your reach is most easiest to master.
I like that. I've never
Is
really heard it
most
said like that.
easiest to master. Do what is just within your reach. From there, it'll take you on to something, and then believe you me, that you were stretching out for, you can reach far, far further than that. For the past, when I started working with this thing, it was in 2000 I started. And 2015, this breakthrough came. Now, 15 years I was painting, trying to get into galleries, and nobody was interested. And after I started this weaving, I don't know, a miracle took place. Sadly, it, it has something about it which surprises me also. I mean, I just color two canvases. I don't make two paintings. I just go up on the ladder, just blindly throw paint on canvases, on two equal sized canvases, smudge it around like a kid on my knees and everything, big pieces. And then the only thing which I'm particular is about the leaf, because that has to be perfect, and the weaving has to be perfect. Otherwise, what colors I use, I don't have the right to say what is a beautiful color.
So is that leaf done after it's weaved or before?
No, that's it's with the painting too on the same area. I have both the leaves, and if you go on
Oh,
to,
perfect symmetrical, basically. And then
I'll send you a couple of videos of mine. You check them out. It's quite interesting. I'll send it to you after we finished our talk, and
oh yeah,
you know.
please do, because yeah, I catch up on a lot of your stuff, but I do miss some, of course. It's hard to stay in tune with everything.
Okay, now just to come back to that crossroads, may I just
Oh yeah.
I've got nothing on my mind, nothing to remember, nothing to forget. I've got nothing to regret. But I'm all kind of tied up on the inside. No one knows quite what I got. But then again, on the outside, what I used to be, I'm not anymore. You know, I've heard of people like me, but I never made the connection. They walk one road to set them free and find they've gone the wrong direction. There's no need for turning back. All roads lead to where I stand. I believe I'll walk them all, no matter what I may have planned. And that was written by Don McLean. He was young, who wrote American Pie, Bye Bye Miss American Pie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that he wrote that. Now he was a young fellow. See, if we just get lost into the unknown, when nothing exists, you are also nothing. It's like saying when you're working in a team or working for a boss and you can't solve the problem, he tells you to think out of the box, yeah, and find a problem. Nobody can think out of the box. Being in the box, you have to go out of the box to think out of the box. And if you get that far to get out of the box and think out of the box, you wouldn't want to come back in. You wouldn't want to come back in. You see everything what's happening inside with a much clearer view. You don't
So,
need
so
any
do you see
Windex
yourself? Do you
or
see
eyes
yourself?
to. Pardon?
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I was saying, so do you see yourself like right now as outside of the box, kind of in the way
I,
you're operating?
the very fact I'm outside the box is because money is irrelevant to me, and even I don't have any. The materials what I'm working on is what I had from before, and I came down to these last three colors. But that doesn't mean to say I have to wait till things open up and then I can buy other stuff and all that. No, it's like food. It's like hunger. When you're hungry, you have to eat. And it doesn't matter. You can't say, no, I'll wait tomorrow to have Chinese because it's far away. No, you have to eat now. And for me to do this kind of stuff, what I'm doing, is it's like hunger. It's like food. It's food for me. It helps feed my soul.
I was about to say food for the soul there, and what you're saying too with those three colors. I had a musician on Nether Friends who was touring all 50 states this year on this, and I had him on the podcast, and he was saying that he didn't use the word restriction, but he was saying that he like just having a couple things helps you be more creative, kind of like you're saying with those three colors.
That's it. You know that when we were talking about riches and wealth, you know who the wealthiest is?
I don't know.
The one who has the least needs. He's the wealthiest.
Oh, that because
He's the wealthiest.
yeah.
He's, and now, uh, and this he has since birth, and he has it till death. But the riches you don't have it after death. I don't know. All these, everyone believe in Christ or Muhammad or Buddha or all these different things. They were just wanting to put some common sense into you. Just some common sense. Christ, when he was young, he wasn't what would you say, law-breaking person. He was a rebellion. He was a rebellion. Do you remember all those money lenders in the church? He goes and throws them out as a kid. Yeah, as a
Yeah.
kid. All those people don't, it's just, oh, he's going to save me. No, 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 no. Believing and having faith. We all believe in something, in Christ or in Buddha or Muhammad or Hindus or whatever. You know. Now ask yourself this question: you believe in that God, yeah? Now, does that God believe in you? Then you can figure it out.
Yeah, huh.
Then the best concept of God was by Morgan Freeman. He said the unknown. And if you keep that at that, you'll straighten up pretty fast. No, it's not go according to these teachings and all that. No, those were for those bygone days, they were good. You can twist and turn. Today's laws, they twist and turn. So those laws, it's I don't know. You're not living now. You're
Yeah,
not
huh.
living, and it's only in the now, if you are aware of the now, that you can evolve.
And
Otherwise,
that's,
you'll be thinking about the past or the future. You're missing out on the now, and that's the most beautiful.
I agree. I find myself doing that, and when I do, I've been getting better at saying like, it doesn't matter. Let's just focus on this right now or whatever's happening, and that, and those are the times that I'm the most happy ever when I'm focused on the now.
And I'll tell you one thing: you can work your whole life through either working for money or for knowledge. Yeah. What good is all that? You have all that money or you have all that knowledge, but you're not able to do anything with that your whole life. And even that knowledge, if you get to know everything that is known, and still mistakes are taking place, this unjust and the forgotten, as I was mentioning to you, Mother Earth has enough food for all of us. It's the distribution. That's the main thing, and I don't know. I feel it doesn't matter. I have I have faith in what I'm doing and what I'm pursuing. Even if I go 1 millimeter, that for me it's a giant step in my life. And that's it. And because this for awareness to come of the forgotten, it'll take generations, but it has to start with the right thinking. And you can't, it's not like going to CVS, buying tablets and dumping it down with a glass of water, or go read the Bible or the Quran or the Tarot or the Bhagavad Gita, and you can purify yourself. No, 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 no. Those are all escapes. Excuse me if I say that. They're all escapes. That somebody else will take care of that bullshit which you're doing. That can't be. That can't be. And that's why now their problems are coming down to us when they are not able to eat even. And we are bothered about what they shouldn't eat that because they get sick. Yeah, they don't have anything to eat. So they'll eat anything. And their sickness is cholera. Poof. I don't know what a miracle over. I come from Bangalore, India. And when I was there were about 250,000 people, the population. It was a small, nice, it was known as the Cologne pensioners' paradise. The British who didn't want to go back to England settled down there. Today it's over 10 million.
Oh, wow.
There's over 10 million. And I left when I was 20, no, 55 years. Over 10 million. And that's all because of greed. It was a nice, beautiful garden city, trees and beautiful thing. Now all just big skyscrapers, skyscrapers, skyscrapers. Round the corner, slums, slums, slums. Do you follow me?
Yeah, yeah.
And
So what,
that's not going to go too far.
and that's kind of what made you want to leave, you're saying, is just that
No, then me having been born in a Christian family, there was a time when the Christians were not. I don't want to be of any false information, but the Hindus got jobs before a Christian, and unless you are very qualified or they needed somebody like you, and which of course there are thousands like me. So, but in any case, went to England, and because we were brought up in English and went to an English-speaking school, and I was very much connected with the English language. I went there and spent 3 years from 65 till 68. And that was a good time, but I didn't enjoy it all that much. I was just wanting to, because after coming from India, having all that dreams of England and all that, and I come there and then be treated like a second-class citizen, I didn't feel comfortable at all. I said, yeah, I just came from India having these hang-ups, and here come jump into this. No, then my cousin from Austria, he started a silk business, and he asked me to come there on a holiday. I went there on a holiday, and he said, would you like to work here? I stayed there for 28 years. The country just embraced me because probably there were not so many black guys like me as in England. And I was pretty special, Yeah, and so that was the language I learned within 6 months. I was able
Oh,
to
damn.
converse. Yeah, now in English, I'm trying to talk with my hands.
That's how I feel when I'm on the phone. So when you were out in Austria, were you doing art out there, or what were you doing
No,
out there?
I started with this art only in 2000,
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that earlier. My apologies.
Yeah. No, I was working with silk. I always had fun working with colors, silk fabrics. And I used to sew evening gowns for visitors to the opera and theater. And I didn't go to any fashion school or anything. A friend of mine gave me her old industrial sewing machine. Another friend gave me an uh, Rolls Royce of a scissors, and I had all that silk. And as I said, wanting to do something, I started stitching a skirt first. The first skirt took me about a week to stitch. Then I was stitching two a day.
Oh, wow.
My brother was downstairs measuring the girls up and bringing the materials and with the measurements. And I was just upstairs stitching. And I didn't like to be too much in the shop. I liked to be occupied, with something with my hand and head only. And that always gave me more pleasure. I very seldom hung around coffee houses or I used to go to the bars quite often. Yeah, in the evenings though. But after I've got involved with this, my cousin who put me on to this, he was here on a visit, and he said, "Hey, you got some nice, crazy thoughts, nice and crazy." Yeah. He says, "Why don't you try painting?" I said, "You mean like an artist?" He says, "No, no, 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 no. Don't think of that. Just do something which makes you have fun." 6 months later, he said, "No, no, no. I think you better forget it." Because I used to send him what all I was doing, but I never gave up. I was happy doing it, and so I said, "Okay, good. You don't want me to do it? I'll do it." And he wanted to give me advice as to how and this and that and to get shadings and you know I'm doing this stuff now, and people ask me what academical qualifications do you have? I got no academical qualifications, and especially in this craft, nothing at all. Because which school can you go to learn how to imagine? Who can teach you how to imagine?
Yourself, huh? It's
That's only you. And if you can imagine something which is within your reach, you can be able to bring some energies out. And then you'll see, you'll figure it out. You'll get the creeps and the chills down your spine and all that. It's fun.
and it goes like to what you're saying about being in the moment. And I feel like when you get those feelings, those down the spine and your hairs raised, that's just from being in the moment, right? It's like,
Sometimes I forget to eat. I just get carried away. I go to the garage and my dog comes to the garage looks at me and says, "Hey, it's about time we went for a walk, or it's about time you came to bed." Because I'm out there at some time in the summertime around 6 o'clock and I don't come out till 12 sometimes, Because, it's the thing is, if we dig deep into the pockets of our spirit, we pull up magic. We pull up magic into the pockets which you cannot see, which you cannot think, but they are there. We just have to go have faith and trust. Everyone will say, everyone equip you to, yes, you can, encourage you, motivate you, yes, you can. That's all load of nonsense. If you can bring the individual to that point where he can say, yes, I can, you've achieved your bit. Let him do whatever he wants to. It's like teaching somebody how to walk or helping somebody to walk. And then he starts walking, and then you tell him where to go. Well, that doesn't go. You
and it's
know,
like friends I've had too who've had like some drug problems and stuff. You do this, it takes them wanting to do it, like you're saying, or anything.
if you don't want, you can break your head, but why waste your time over it? You know,
Yeah.
you can be doing something which satisfies you. See, we're all born with a certain truth, with one truth, and that's the certain truth. But we are brought up with another truth. And that's why we always go outside searching for the truth. We either go up in the mountains, or we do yoga, or we go to a church, or we go to synagogue, or we go to whatever the case may be, or out in the forest, we go out there searching for the truth. The truth is within you. You were born with it. And if you search for that, you don't need to go anywhere. You
And
know,
I feel you with that because I'm from a family of 8. I have tons of younger nieces and nephews, and I feel like they all possess that truth at such a young age, you
of
know,
course.
and they're on their own level.
As we grow up, we are taken further away from this truth. We are taken away further away from nature. And then when we are so far away from nature, we go to nature searching for answers. No, we just stand there in bewilderment. But we forget about our questions, our answers. We come back home and say, it was great. But what was positive about it? Yeah, you maybe breathe the fresh air and you did your exercise and all that. You're just being equipped to be a better at your function at what you're doing. But that is always for somebody else, please. You're always equipped to be better, to serve somebody else, not yourself. You're always taken away from your purpose in life.
So would you say that you serve who you are being and truly who you are, and that reflects around everybody around you?
Now you see that the whole question now. You see all this. We have all these gyms, all these health spas, and all these beautiful things, which is to make the body more healthier and so on and so forth. But what happens usually, it becomes a fashion, a trend, and it just happens to end up with a beautiful body.
Mm-hmm.
The body is not performing anything for the benefit of mankind, not the human race, but for mankind. Do you follow me?
Yes, I think so.
Just for looks, then it's all just for looks. It eventually ends up. So we are
Mm-hmm.
living our whole lives chasing after these which are given to us as that's a dream you have to chase. The house, the big bank account, the super duper Ferrari, or whatever the case is, and everyone elbowing each other out of the way to get that. And in between talking about love, it's a joke. You just check out these four people sitting down at an office, all are called in for an interview for a job, and they are all wishing they get the job, yeah. But they're all very kindly talking to each other, yeah. But you know what? They wish they get the job. In other words, they're wishing that the others don't get it. Is there love? Now you see
Yeah, man.
this coronavirus situation come up. Bing, bing, bing. Everyone's buying up all the toilet paper. Okay, good. What about the guy Nick at the back of you? He also needs some toilet paper. The consideration, yeah. And you call that love? No, there's no love. The love is what how love is perceived is you have to show kindness, you have to show understanding, you have to show compassion, you have to show what you have to show. I don't do all that
You
because
don't think so?
it's all for show. If there's understanding, if there's a kindness, and if there's compassion and all that, it's there. It's there, it comes out. But when it's asked for, demanded for, screw yourself. No, honest. Yeah, because when it's demanded, are the ones who very difficult to give that.
Yeah, huh?
Further, not back to you. No, no, no. Giving is something. Love is giving, and giving we all have enough to give. But we are taught that only give in the material sense. Then it's giving. No, you give in so many ways. I think I'm achieving my goal. Getting attention of people by my craft because I want to bring this awareness of those hungry, those dying at birth. I just that if I can get that a little further, and everyone I'm supporting, the ones who are wanting a better earth, a greener earth, a purer earth, those who are wanting to free prisoners from the non-violent drug cannabis prisoners. I'm not sure about all other drugs and all that. That's none of my business. I smoke cannabis. I enjoy it, and it's a part of my life. And that's why the leaf. It's the cannabis leaf only. My manager told me in 2018, would you like to integrate a cannabis leaf in your art? So I Googled and saw cannabis leaves. There's so many different kinds of leaves. And I said, nah, I'll do something on my own. So I did one with the 11 arms. And he showed it to a couple of people. And immediately, within a week, within that very same month, they had me in their magazine, this leaf. And that was the first one. The Vegas cannabis and cactus cannabis from Arizona. And in the meantime, many have written about the work. But my main thing is showing how simple it is to get lost into imagination. Because when you get lost into imagination, at some point you'll question something. Because I have a feeling people are not questioning enough or not the right questions. Or
Huh.
even if they have the right question, maybe not formulating the question right. Do you follow me?
Just remaining open too, and
Yeah, and
to that.
formulating, because if you are honest, that's where honesty comes. If you're really honest and wanting answers, your questions will also be honest. And because you're up against nothing else but just that inner you. That inner you. And I can bullshit you a day, a whole life long. But that inner me, I have to, that is the awareness. And if I don't respect myself, how am I going to respect anything? Because then if I respect anything, it's just show. you know?
Yeah, huh?
No, that's because we got the wrong concept of many things because we follow that truth which we were brought up with. And going back to the truth which we were born with is a very difficult road. It's a very difficult road. All based, when you said earlier, since time began, yeah? No, all based, you just check this out. All religions have this symbol of God in their image, yeah, in a human image. The Hindus have the human body and maybe an elephant head and something like that or whatnot, 8 arms and all that. Okay, good, fair enough, fair enough. But all in that human form, yeah. Now, this all comes from Adam and Eve. God made Adam and Eve, the very first prototypes, yeah. And you mean to say he lets them out into the Garden of Eden, telling them, hey, don't eat from those apples, and then they go and eat that apple, yeah? Okay, no, do you mean to say God says, okay, good, I don't have anything to do with you anymore, and just let them run free? He would have tweaked them and fixed them up right away. And do you understand what I'm saying?
So you're saying that he it could have been fixed, but he wanted them to live.
No, that because that's the God that everyone believed, that he didn't do anything about it. I don't believe in that God. I don't believe in God. It's this universal energy flowing through each one of us. And we are given just one emblem just to keep in front of us, whether it's the cross or whether it's whatever. All religions have some symbol or the other. Have that symbol over there as a warning to keep us scared.
Mm-hmm.
I was born to have fun in life. I was born. No, we are all born to have fun in life. But of course, I cannot have fun if I go and walk on certain streets. I go and walk on streets where I have fun, where there's no obstacles. And I could go down streets where there are obstacles, but I'm making it a little more difficult for me. Do you follow me?
Yeah, to test yourself and learn. In terms of the obstacles, I'm saying.
To test yourself now, you're still with that. You have to prove yourself, or you have to answer. I don't have anyone to answer to. It's if you put anybody down, degrade them, you show your size. If you look up at somebody too much, yeah, if you put somebody too high, you'll always stay small. You get it?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
We are all same. We are all equal because our intelligence is equally balanced with our stupidity. No matter how intelligent you are, your stupidity level is also up there.
I like that, man. I like
No, because that's the yin yang, that's the balance. And you have to adjust with this and still not deprive that energy that's flowing through you.
It's a careful balance, huh?
There are others may do a greater work, but you have your part to do. No one in all this heritage can do it but you. And that bit which you don't do is the bit which is missing. And now we have come into this whole vacuum where it causes such situations. because we are just parasites. It's a pity. We are just parasites. We are eating up.
Yeah, we're taking all the resources and we're
We
eating
are
everything up, and but
because we
people like,
have no respect. We have no respect. If your neighbors is doing it, okay, good, fair enough. The law let them get that. You do what you think is right. If there are certain things which your conscience, abide to your conscience. That's another thing I'd like to do. I'd like to uh, uh, I'd like people to how should I say, hypnotize themselves. you know, because see now, pot also, yeah, smoking. They come up with recreational use, medical use, and this and that. For me, it is nature. It's nature's gift. It's just as good as I was saying to somebody the other day on a telephone interview. It's like cilantro. It's another herb. I use it as a herb. It's no any special because it's a part of my life. And I started only in 2000 smoking. Now 20 years. But
so what made it that part of your life in 2000? Was it part of the art, part of the?
no, I went up to Northern California near San Francisco, and I stayed there with an artist. I went there to help him fix his house because I was doing handyman work. And working with him, I got a little more involved into art, and of course, he had a lot of guests coming over, and they were doing all kinds of stuff, But I was just smoking pot then. The first time I smoked, I had just had 2 hits. I couldn't go the flight of stairs to my bedroom to light. I was so sad. He had to help me up. And he was my boss carrying me. But in any case, then I realized, okay, good, that's not good. But it made me feel good. So then I said, slow, slow, slow. Today, I have a hit. I put a little bit in my pipe. I smoke it, and maybe every hour I have a small hit. So I'm constant. I'm not right up and right down because I don't like that flame inside me to die out.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the work that I do, I got so many colors in my mind. Just with these three colors, it's you become like a child again, and you feel like a child. My neighbor's kids, he's just a year and a half. Oh, adorable little fellow. And when all this Corona stuff is over, I'm going to work on a painting with him.
And that's what I'm saying, man. And that's where
Toddler,
those little,
toddler,
they
because
have that
he
imagination.
because he'll definitely invite me into another world, and life is beautiful. I'm just sorry about the suffering. It's all not necessary, because I mean, now the situation is here, but I hope we learn from it. I hope we learn from it because if we just do something to bridge this, we are just putting a band-aid on the situation,
And
on
I
a
think
on a gushing wound. It'll come up, it'll come back in a tremendous way, and our future generations will suffer then more. So now it's better to straighten up that our future generations could do something for the benefit of mankind, not for the human race, because this human race has turned into a rat race.
yeah, couldn't be more well said.
No, it's
Eh,
it's true, and I don't have any hate in me. I just
I
full
can
of
tell. You're a
uh, I'm
chill guy.
dislocated. At the same time, I am with it. Do you follow me? I'm in that. I'm out of the box, but at times I like to come back into the box and see, and then shake up something, shake up something, and then go out of the
And
box.
I thank you today too for shaking up this podcast. Who's ever watching and
No,
listening, man,
well,
you provided some value to
but,
everybody.
what's going on with this with our conversation? What are you going to do with it?
So this will go on to like iTunes and Spotify on all the podcasts, and then I'll put it on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
Um, so that's where I've been building. YouTube's where most of the people listen to my stuff, but the iTunes has been getting a lot of traction too. So, but like I said when we started, I know I had a little technical difficulties at the beginning. I'm just getting used to Skype and everything, but
It's after we finish talking, I'll send you a couple of videos, and if you can use these from the weaving and the leaves, the matching of the leaves. It's a bit of a tricky situation. You'll enjoy it, or even if you don't use it on your in your program, you have a look at it. Yeah.
oh yeah, I will. Please do because I will just cut them in when you're talking right to the side there so people can see. No, man,
Yeah.
like you just talking to you today has been a breath of fresh air, man. Like I've just been sitting here listening. Everything you're saying is resonating with me, and I'm just really just feeling what you're saying. I'm trying to get on that level too of trying to let the ego down. I've been working on that for the past many years, and just fully embracing a personal truth. And
Because that's our biggest hindrance, the ego. We we kind of dull that, we dampen that beauty which is within. You know, because who am I better than you? You're better than me. Is Tom, Dick, or Harry anyone better than anyone else? No. When we look at the bottom line, we are all the same. So see, this when a situation like this happens, it doesn't have, okay, no, we can't affect those people. We can only affect these people. It affects everyone, you know. So that shows that we all are one. We belong to one. I hear many people, they may mean it good, but they are so misguiding also at times. People talk about the body, all these spiritual body and healing and exercise and all that stuff. The body, spirit, and mind. Now, the spirit is the mind, please. They've forgotten that soul which we belong to, that one soul. They confuse the spirit for the soul. They think a spirit is something you have to achieve. You have it. And the soul you're connected to, whether you like it or not. And if your body is in a halfway good condition, boy, you're a healthy being. Now, just being healthy is also not just good enough. Uh, there's something you can do with that health. That health is not. It's a gift for everyone. Love, love, I say, comes to you from all directions. From all directions, unexpected directions. You feel it. But then where the ego comes in is, then we guide it in the direction of wish, which is the wrong thing. It should go back everywhere where it came from to keep this circulating within you, coming into you and going out. But if I guide it only in certain directions to my dog or to my friends or to my craft or my this or my family, anyone particular, it's not going to last long. It's not going to last long. Then you have to cheat.
it has to be going wherever it's needed, basically,
It has
or
no.
one.
It'll go back. You just thankful it just came through you and it's going out again, and let it go back wherever it has to go. That's why I'm not earning a cent. I'm not wanting to earn a cent from my work. I'm donating it to Last Prisoner Project. Have you know Steve D'Angelo?
I've heard some of the Last Prisoner project is a great deal going
Yeah.
on right now.
And my manager, Steve Meadow, they work with But the Angelo brothers, they are they know each other, and I donate these paintings. They can raffle it or auction it for their benefit,
Well, and
and
that. Oh, sorry.
and it's only for the materials. If I can be compensated, that's all I need, because I'm compensated with the joy of doing it, having done it. That itself is the reward. I don't need anything anymore, because money, what? I can't eat more than what I do. And even if I had money, I don't go out. So what's the point in me? I don't go out and spend it because I'm in the garage work, enjoying myself. And that's my sanctuary.
And like I wanted to ask you too, like with that, how could somebody like me, without going to an exhibit, maybe have the opportunity to get one of your pieces of work, or somebody listening or watching?
Uh, I had a conversation, an interview with a person yesterday from, I think, Orange County, and he said that he wanted if I would do any commissioned work for dispensaries. I just like I enjoy doing it. I told him to get in touch with my manager, and of course, gladly, because I like to do, and I'm not doing it for, as I said, to better my way of life. I'm satisfied with my way of life, and it's not a sense of giving back to society and all that bullshit. No. I'm not that kind. No, because that's all hypocrisy. This
Well,
is what
and
I'm doing, and I enjoy it. And after that,
you're one
if
of the first. Sorry to hop in there. You're one of the first people I've ever met in my life, or I've just met you virtually, but like who's satisfied with their life. You hear so many people striving for all this shit, like we're saying earlier, but the fact that you can say that, man, that's pretty powerful.
because eventually you can work your whole life to gain all this house and those so-called dreams, fulfill all those so-called dreams, but you'll still never be content, because that last drop can only come from you. We are all born stars covered in skin, but the light we seek can only twinkle from within. That's it. You can have all that, whatever you want, but that contentment, no. That juice has to come from you.
Man,
If you can come with that out before, everything is yours in any case.
I'm happy we had this conversation right now instead of 20 years from now, man. You're keeping me up on the edge here.
No. It's a life. Life is beautiful if you are aware of it, and there is also just a certain amount you can do, but you're doing it. That's the main thing. In that direction, you just keep doing it, and once it becomes a routine, it starts opening. It invites you to openness. It keeps inviting you, inviting you. Check this one line out. I have to tell you this. Be lost on a painted sky where the clouds are hung for the poet's eye. You may know it. There on a distant shore, by the wings of dreams through an open door, you may know it. If you may be as a page that aches for a word which speaks of a theme that is timeless. The sun god makes your day. Sing like a song in search of a voice that is silent. That one God in you will show you the way. That sparkle can only come from within.
I'm
It's
about to replay that a couple times now.
and you know who this was from? Neil Diamond, Jonathan Livingston Seeger. There are just a couple of songs. Bee Gees, they said, when you have a hit song, nobody pays attention to the words.
I
And
believe
they
that.
wrote some real heavy songs, some deep songs. Maybe just go dance and shake your booty and all that. Fine. But the words, I mean, in collaboration with that jumping around and all that, doesn't you need a more calmer atmosphere to digest all that. But there's beauty all around. I take a walk, I see a flower, just as big as half the size of my tiny nail, and the whole universe I see in there. And I come home and then I go with my imagination. I get inspired from it, and then I come and do my. As I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but it makes me happy and keeps me away from trouble.
It's all flowing. It all somehow or another, and with no thought or anything, it just kind of pieces together, huh?
And to make it as simple as possible, that everyone can understand, as many as possible. One would come up with things of coming up with all special technical words and academical words, and only they can understand. What about the others who haven't been to? What about the bricklayer or the guy sweeping the streets? They are not all equipped with all those words. And how do you pass the message on to them? So then we start catering only to certain groups. There again, I said, that energy starts going only, you channel it, that's satisfying the ego. Because we are too calculative, and that's why we don't know what's giving. We expect something when we give. Even a sign of gratitude, we expect gratitude. No, that's not giving. Giving is given, and that's it. And gone.
It
You're
reminds me of what my grandma used to say, and she used to say, "You don't give to get."
no, no. They say forgive and forget. No, when you really give, you don't know that you're giving.
No, no, no. Yeah. You don't give to get. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah, you don't give to
yeah.
give, because then it's you're playing tit for tat. It's calculating.
But I like
Yeah.
what you said even about the gratitude, because I always, I kind of thought my life learning that you don't give to get, but like something inside of me sometimes expects a little gratitude. Like, oh, I'm giving you this. It would be almost weird, but then I'm like, it's just interesting to think that I've done that and not even subconsciously, I haven't thought about it till now, really.
Yeah. No, because that, as I said, we are all brought up in such a way that give it has to be something, you know, uh, other than you, but we have such a lot in us to give. And we don't have to go slave around and earn money for that, or dig ditches and earn money for that, to buy a present and have it packed up. And now that's the big balloon. And a small little pin comes there and everything's gone. And now you see this situation with here and this epidemic and wanting to open up again. And you heard what went on in Michigan, eh?
No, I didn't. Was it recently?
No, at yesterday, the protesters with automatic rifles and all that went into the Senate in while there was a session going on, standing on the balcony, all with their guns and everything, masks, because they want to open the place again. The white extremists. Now wait a minute, where is this?
I didn't even hear that. I'm out of the loop, man. I need to.
Oh, you check that out. It's getting serious. It's getting serious, and I just feel sorry for them because they're also innocent. They're brought up that way. But sometime or the other, we have to come to some senses, common sense. But but it was nice talking to you, and
Likewise, and like I said, like, and I'm just trying to put everything full circle. Like we're bringing it back to the circle. What you said, and you don't know how the energy is gonna go. And I just want to say thank you for taking your time and energy to come on this show today. And I truly believe it's definitely helped me today, just talking to you, man, and learning from you. And I think it's gonna help a lot of other people. So
I
thank
always say it takes two hands to clap.
you. I like that, my friend. I like that.
Hey, you have a good one. And I'll send you these videos. And where are you situated?
I'm in Koreatown right now, Los
Where's
Angeles.
Los Angeles? Yeah, I can. Well, do you come down this side anytime?
Like
San
San
Diego?
Diego, correct?
Yeah.
No, I want to. My girl and I, we've been out here for a couple of years, haven't really gone down. So when I come down, I'll definitely reach out to you if you get
Yeah.
together, man. Maybe
Where
have
are you from?
New Jersey originally.
Oh, okay. You're good. Better off here this side.
Yeah, yeah.
No, when you come down, yeah, I'll give you something to take back with you.
Awesome, man. And we'll bring my lady and I always love bringing people stuff, so we'll bring you some tasty food or something.
Hey, you have a good one, and stay safe. And thank you very much for having me on. And let's hope our dreams fulfill.
I love that. I love that, man. Thank you very much for your good energy today.
You have a good one. I'll
All right,
send the videos now.
all
Yeah,
right, please do, my friend.
you take care.
All right, you too.
This is True Buds, that Mary Jane, now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Yeah, number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up the perfect show for my smokers. True Buds.